The latest revelation from Aegon's prophecy in House of the Dragon Episode 4 alters the course of Jon Snow's Game of Thrones plot yet again. In Game of Thrones, Jon Snow's main plotline had him uniting the realm against the threat posed by the White Walkers, which led to an alliance and romance with Queen Daenerys Targaryen. It was eventually revealed in the original series that Jon Snow was the true-born child of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen, making him Aegon Targaryen and the legitimate heir to the Iron Throne, a significant twist to his path that had long been rumored. While the ending of Game of Thrones had appeared to render his Targaryen ancestry unimportant, House of the Dragon's emphasis on prophecy has given his story a completely new meaning. In the opening scene of House of the Dragon, the first alteration to Jon's story in Game of Thrones was made, which clarified the dream prophecy of Aegon the Conqueror from the Song of Ice and Fire. Aegon saw a terrible winter and darkness that would wipe out humanity in his vision. Only a Targaryen king or queen who had the power to rally the realm against the danger could bring about salvation. The setting of Game of Thrones' conclusion revealed that Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen were the prophesied Targaryens who would defeat the White Walkers and save the living, demonstrating how important the former character's lineage had always been to his growth. With the addition of a new layer to Aegon's prophecy in House of the Dragon Episode 4, Jon Snow's significance in the overall plot of the saga has increased. The secret inscription from Aegon's dream, "From my blood come the prince that was promised, and his will be the Song of Ice and Fire," is revealed to Rhaenyra in the 4th episode of House of the Dragon. This supports the idea that Jon Snow was the hero who should have killed the Night King and demonstrates the similarity between Aegon's vision and the prince that was promised prophecy proclaimed by Melisandre in Game of Thrones. Due to Daenerys passing, Jon losing his titles, and Arya using the weapon to kill the White Walkers, the conclusion of Game of Thrones left the identity of the prince that was promised somewhat ambiguous. But the prophecy's connection to Aegon's dream seems to finally confirm which character fulfilled the vision. Jon Snow is more likely to be the foretold hero than Daenerys because Aegon's dream predicted a Targaryen as the prince that was promised, with such a character's journey taking place in the Song of Ice and Fire. While Jon and Daenerys both share the title and were undoubtedly a part of Melisandre's prophecy, Jon really accomplished the vision in more ways. One reason is that Jon is the union of House Targaryen Fire and House Stark Ice, whose sole goal in Game of Thrones was to exterminate the Night King and White Walkers. His was the Song of Ice and Fire. In spite of this, Daenerys fulfills the prophecy by bringing back the dragons, assuming momentarily the throne of Queen of Westeros, and securing the crucial backing from numerous noble houses prior to the Battle of Winterfell. Without Daenerys, Jon would not have been able to slay the White Walkers, but without Jon, there would never have been a coordinated effort to battle them. Despite not using the Valyrian steel dagger to slay the Night King, Jon was the prince that was promised who put the welfare of others before personal gain. Aegon's prophecy may or may not include Arya specifically murdering the Night King, but as it stands in House of the Dragon, Jon was the Targaryen warrior required to take on the army of the dead in the ultimate fight between ice and fire. While it initially appeared like Jon moving north in the final episode of Game of Thrones was throwing away the point of his Targaryen ancestry, this is actually a more appropriate continuation of Aegon's dream. Aegon merely anticipated that the Targaryens would need to cling onto the Iron Throne until the coming of the Great Winter, with their mission being accomplished following the defeat of the White Walkers. As a result, after the Night King passed away, the Targaryen family lost their birthright to the Iron Throne, leaving Jon's destiny somewhat uncertain. But after the events of Game of Thrones, Jon continues to fulfill his promise to be the prince that was promised by joining the Night's Watch and venturing outside the wall to protect the living. The Night's Watch keeps Jon as the fire that burns against the cold, the light that brings the morning, the horn that awakens the sleepers, and the shield that shields the realms of men, because it is unknown what exactly still lurks deep in the north or whether the White Walkers could ever rise again. In Game of Thrones, Jon was the fire that burned against the icy White Walkers, and he will continue to be the shield against the threats that lie in the north. What Jon didn't realize when he first said these words as a member of the Night's Watch was that it had always been his destiny. The Targaryen legacy in Westeros has always been greater than the Iron Throne, according to House of the Dragon. As Aegon's prince that was promised, Jon's ultimate goal is to continue protecting the living rather than partaking in the proverbial Game of Thrones.